And then when you're ready to sell the car, you know, the customer always wants to pay you less. And they not even understand what's behind, you know, what's like the time it takes. And then, you know, all the dedication, you know, the touch-ups, the details. And that's one of the things, I guess, that people that don't appreciate the timing that you spend in the car, you know. And that's one of the things, I guess, because the way I see customized cars, I think it's like an art, right? It's like you are just basically designing the car, painting the car, putting the details, whatever, you know. So
I honestly think until you actually try and customize one, you have no appreciation for it. Like, yeah, it's art. Some people pay for it because they understand what goes into it and understand the work that you put into it. Some people just want to have it because it's cool, you know, but they don't realize, that thing's cool, but that I got 10 hours into this thing, you know, and it's not because I wanted to put 10 hours into this thing. It ended up being 10 hours because of all the things I needed to do to make it end up this way.
Just to make the thing, you know.
Probably a good example is that Datsun right there,
Which one?
Just to make it
that's a nice one too.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
That's a nice one. How much time you spent at that time when you did a custom?
So the first one was 2 weeks. And that thing looked like garbage. Absolute garbage. Like, you can see so much glue and just the butchery on the bottom. You know, trying to figure out how to do this, and just like nothing comes apart. Well, the body can come off, but like, you know, just I glued everything in, and then just tried to do my own version of like a black wash on the engine and everything else, and try to hide all the imperfections.
I think to be your first custom, man, I see that you put the nitros. Like,
so cool though.
That's cool, man. That's badass. You know, like the way you do all the cable engines and all that. I mean, it's nice, honestly. And that's the whole point, you know, when you do a custom, it's art. Because you dedicate the time and you use your, I guess, imagination to create, and just whatever you see that, you just...
the first time doing it, you have no idea what you're going to do, right? So you start cutting more than you need to, you sand more than you need to, you glue way more than you need to, and it don't have exactly the smallest hands. I have these big-ass mitts, right? So, like, working on these little, tiny die cast, it's kind of hard, you know, especially if you don't have dexterity. So, I mean, for us as customizers, we have a small window. We really do, if you think about it. Because if our physical limitations with our hands, you know, if we end up having issues with them, that's it. We're done. We can't customize, right?
I agree with that.
It's just like having any other career. You have a window. You have an opportunity to do it as long as you can. And then at some point, you're going to have to stop. You're not going to be able to do them anymore.
Especially using your hands and your eyes, because you have to be like really like paying attention to details.
It's a lot of patience to trial and error.
Oh yeah, that's one of those important things, to have patience, you know, like cause, it's gonna be hard.
You're gonna make mistakes if you like the way their guys are doing it. They made a ton of mistakes over time to get better at it.
Well, and this is part of the reason why I do this stuff, because I'm very impatient, and so this is, you know, when I did model cars as a kid, my mom did it so that it taught me patience. Because I have no patience. Right? So it was one of those things where she's like, you need to start doing things that, you know, it's going to teach you patience. And if you get upset and you smash this thing, you can't fix it.
Also,
you smash a model car, you ain't going to fix it, man. It's broken. Right? So I never smashed a model car. Because I didn't want to break it, right?
Just diecast.
Diecast a little different. But as you get older, I mean, you know, if you lose your temper and you get impatient, that's your own fault for not, you know, being in control of your emotions. So...
Because sometimes it's hard because you spend too much time and you cannot even get, like me, I cannot even get this car rolling right now. So I already got almost 40 minutes trying to find out why. So now I have to kind of like just keep trying to see until the car gets, you know, the way it has to be.
Well, like anything else, right? Trial and error. You don't have that experience yet to see. Right? So you got to do a lot of, you know, test fitting, a lot of on and off. A lot of put it together, take it apart. Put it together, take it apart. So that's just part of it. That's just part of learning.
Part of learning, and then, you know, the more learning is better because you get more practice, and then you kind of like you become, I guess, pro. You know, but not
just
pro.
Like everything, because when you get to the point that you made a mistake, you know how to fix it. I read somewhere when I was starting airbrushing is the first thing you have to learn is how to fix your mistakes. You know, so once you do that, you're gonna be like, oh, you already think, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna paint it on top of it, I'm gonna put a decal or something, and that's the whole point to learn.
Right.
That's why I have so many rusted cars.
Yeah. Well, Alber brings up a good point because I remember before trying to get it like. The problem is I'm trying to be a perfectionist, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to learn how to fix my mistakes. I don't want to make any mistakes, and that's a problem. You got to learn how to fix your mistakes. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure me, like a lot of guys first starting off, as soon as you mess it up, that's it. Throw it away. Start a new one.
Yep. Or in your case, damn it, junk car.
Yeah. But once you start getting really into it, if you really you have to be obsessed about it.
Yeah.
If you want to make this into something that's, you want to call it a career, or if you want to be semi-serious about this hobby, whatever it is you do, you have to be obsessed, right? Whether you're into sports, whether you're into bodybuilding, or anything that involves some kind of physical activity or skill, even mental. Like
or even a hobby, too.
Chess player or whatever, you have to be obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Because you want to get better. You want to absorb all that knowledge. You want to be open and curious.
Yeah, I think that's for any hobby, that's true, you have to be really down to just spend the time in learning, because it's gonna take you a lot of process
and the main thing, go ahead.
Yeah, it's gonna be like I think Alber, if I'm not even sure, you got Cool 51, right? That's your nickname, your brand.
Yeah, a brand now.
Cool 51
Cool
designs.
51 designs, yeah. Over 1997, 96, that's when I started.
Wow.
Doing customs. Officially we're doing customs, collecting 94.
Nice.
Around that time. But yeah, it's been so many years. Been working for Diecast Space since 29.
That's a lot of years, man.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what Diecast Space was.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
I was never into that stuff.
And before Diecast Space, it was the DCX. That's
Like way.
We're talking 2001, 2, I believe. And that's when I got into it. I thought when I was doing customs at home, I thought I was the only one. Until I went to my first convention, 2009 in Los Angeles, at the LA convention. And I saw hundreds of people doing customs, and I was like, what the hell? I thought I was the only one in the world doing customs.
I think you told me you were like the only one that was doing hand paint or airbrushing?
That time I was the only one doing hand paint, yes. Because I show up at the convention, a bunch of guys had graphics, crazy details, and I met a lot of the OG customizers that I thought I was the only one, like I said, and ended up meeting a ton of people at those conventions, and ever since, I haven't stopped.
You grew your brain from
That's
there.
great.
That's right there. Like, Albert met a lot of guys that we'll never get to talk to.
Yeah.
We'll never get to, get that knowledge from them. We won't get to share a lot of that stuff with them. Right?
It's just like one-on-one. Like you never
all passed on out.
see that.
Yeah, a lot of guys, they already stopped doing this, or they passed away, or they moved back to their countries, so they're not coming back.
Disappeared.
Yeah, they do something else.
Yeah, there's a lot of new guys. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of new guys, really good ones. From everywhere, from all over the world. Like amazing work out there.
And with social media it's expanded. Anyone can just show customs, and some of them are just beyond.
Back then it was like, somebody from Japan, so you see him once a year.
Yeah.
Now you see from Japan, hey bro, look at this, send a picture, and boom, 2 minutes.
2 seconds.
Talk on the phone,
you can FaceTime now.
Yeah, we can FaceTime.
It's like technology changed everything now.
We live in.
Yeah. So those we became friends. Not only once a year, hey, what's up, dude, and see each other for 3 or 4 days, and see you next year. Now it's like, hey, when you get home, I give you a call, and keep on talking all year, and we became friends, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think you mentioned something really important about the thing when the people start just coming more into this hobby.
Oh yeah.
I think that happened when COVID got hit really hard, right? That's when everybody was just not even working, just sitting at home.
I think that's when you notice it more.
Yeah.
Because I think there was already customizers, but they were not open customizers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when pandemic hit, everybody's like, "Whoa, let's see who else is out there."
Around that time, everyone was kind of going back to some old hobbies. You have people collecting Pokemon cards that they grew up with. That's why they skyrocketed in value.
That's what I noticed. Like that's when everything went crazy in social media.
Crazy.
Because everyone was bored. They were looking for new hobbies or going back to their old hobbies.
Yeah.
And now you go to like in all the social medias and you can find
how many people stopped when they closed their jobs at that time, and they start doing this and realized that they can do their own business.
Yeah.
And they went back to work.
Exactly.
From 3D printing to creating paint to creating graphics to creating wheels to creating anything.
Provide a service to people for just this.
Yeah.
Anything, figures.
Just think about it, right? 7 years ago when I started, you couldn't get 3D printed wheels.
No.
Oh, that's like,
Right? Albert told me, he's like, the only way you can do this, bro, he's like, you gotta go buy, you gotta go buy the premiums. Yeah. You gotta drill them, and you gotta pull all the wheels off of them. Wow.
And before that, you had to buy Jadas.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And before that, the only thing you can get rubber tires is NASCAR cars. Wow. That was it. That was the only car with rubber wheels.
So
I think I showed you yesterday what I used before for wheels.
like the little
shrinking.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
I used to drill. I used to Dremel all the tire out of these wheels and just leave the rim and put the shrinking tubing and put the heat gun and make it look like a tire.
Yeah.
And we're talking
years.
15, 20
I feel like you could just slid the shrink tube over the tire where it's at and just shrink around it. So
that's what you do.
I thought you were saying it sounded like you grinded it down.
No. Well, we got the old tire to make it look.
Okay.
It's not gonna be fat. Because you have that, you have to grind this tire, just leave the rim.
Grind like a centimeter around.
Yeah, there's still guys who do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.